Podcast 1. What is dementia? It is completely normal for memory to be affected by age, stress, tiredness, or certain illnesses and medication. This can be frustrating and at times worrying, but is usually reversible if and when the cause is addressed. In contrast, dementia is a broad term that is used to describe a syndrome. In other words, a group of related symptoms where there's an ongoing and generally irreversible decline of the brain and its abilities. At the present time, dementia is not curable, and although medication is available to slow down the symptoms of the disease, these are not suitable for everyone. Regardless of which type is diagnosed, each person will experience their dementia differently. This is due to many factors, including where the damage in the brain is, and the underlying character and individuality of the person. Changes to a person's abilities may not have an obvious effect initially, but as damage to the brain increases, the impact on day-to-day living becomes so much greater. Although there are over 100 different types of dementia, residents with a diagnosis of dementia who are living in a care home setting are more likely to have one of the more familiar forms of the disease. Alzheimer's disease is the most common type of dementia, affecting approximately 60% of all people who receive a diagnosis. In Alzheimer's disease, proteins build up in the brain to form structures called plaques and tangles. These, in addition to a deficiency of chemicals in the brain, lead to connections between nerve cells being lost and consequently dying. Vascular dementia is the second most common type of dementia affecting people in the UK. This type of dementia occurs when brain cells are damaged due to a reduced blood supply and maybe due to a stroke causing clots which block one or more blood vessels, or diseases in the small blood vessels which affect blood flow around the brain. Approximately 10% of people who receive a diagnosis of dementia have mixed dementia, that is both Alzheimer's disease and vascular dementia. Dementia with Lewy bodies is sometimes mistaken for Alzheimer's disease as the symptoms can be very similar. Lewy bodies are tiny protein deposits that appear in nerve cells in the brain. Lewy bodies are also responsible for Parkinson's disease. The way that a person is affected by dementia with Lewy bodies will depend largely on where the protein deposits, the Lewy bodies, are. For instance, Lewy bodies at the base of the brain will affect movement, whilst Lewy bodies found in the outer layers of the brain will affect cognitive ability, for example, causing a person to have difficulties with attention or visual perception. It is very common for a person with Lewy bodies type dementia to experience hallucinations, and these can be very difficult for a person to cope with. Podcast 2, the impact of cognitive impairment on day-to-day living, will look at some of the more common difficulties that a person with dementia may experience on a daily basis.